so that there's no feedback. We are live. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Rookie Corner, episode 22, with the special guest Nerd Wonder, whom is just a little late at the moment, but that's all good because we've got an awesome comics panel with us today. We got Gateway into Comics, Pope Fire, and Riot Kitty. Just to start us off, since you've been here before quite a bit, Riot Kitty, why don't you tell us about your channel?
Oh, hello. I am Riot Kitty, and my channel is, or at least the main purpose, is comic book development. I am developing my own project called Dollhouse, and I hope you guys all check it out.
All right, perfect. And then Gateway, why don't you go?
Hey everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is gonna be totally cool. Comics is a huge part of my life, and when I was kind of came upon a couple of different comic book communities and then movements, you know, I was like, man, I just really want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. And I've been writing short stories my whole life, and I love storytelling. It's a huge part of who I am. All of my heroes are storytellers. They're writers. George Lucas being actually in the top 5. And so, you know, for a lot of my writing videos, I actually reference him a lot and his work because it's actually perfect in my opinion. You know, I love the guy. It's just my favorite. It's my favorite stories, to be honest with you, you know? And so I talk about that on my channel a lot. But I also delve into kind of the unhealthy environment that happens within modern comics. And I actually set a flamethrower to modern comics that are written very poorly.
I did that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And yeah, that's my channel in a nutshell. I do actually talk very briefly on occasion about kind of the changing economics within the comic industry as well. And I'm going to just start doing live streams to promote independent comics, which is a big passion of mine as well. So awesome to meet y'all. That's it.
That's perfect. Hey, if you, in a little later, if you want to shout out any of those comics, you'll be welcome to, no problem. And
fantastic.
And Pope Fire, if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Oh, I am Pope Fire, the Starfire Outlaw. I don't really do a lot other than yell at the Titans episodes that come out, or used to come out every week, and then I make silly videos to give people really bad dating advice. And I also run Comics Titans Fundraiser, which is where you go if you are having a hard time and you need to afford some of these books. I do believe comics can change people's lives. I know it changed my life, as I did grow up with sort of an abusive household, and we were very poor, and I probably would have been a much different person if it hadn't have been for somebody giving me a comic book, which happened to be Judas Contract, New Teen Titans Judas Contract. And I will credit comics for helping me be as successful as I have in my life, as I've already gone through school. And, you know, I've done a lot of things in my life that I'm very grateful for, and I do believe that comics did have something to do with that. So I want to kind of help other people along with their journey with Comics Titans Fundraiser, and maybe bring some laughs, because I do have a lot of passion for comics. So that's my story.
That's fantastic, actually. That's wonderful. I'd love to hear that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, actually, remember I found you from one of Midnight's Cherry's friends or subscribers list or something, and just clicking on people. Some people didn't really have that much content or anything, and then I saw you just posted a video about the High Council or Ethan Van Sciver and a few people, a weird little thing, and I was just laughing my ass off.
You know what's funny about that video?
Yeah.
I didn't actually watch the actual video. I just took what people were saying off of Twitter, and I was like, okay, I guess this is what happened.
Well, I think it was pretty accurate regardless. That was hilarious. And I think you streamed like the next day, so I started interacting with you then. I think you invited me on your stream for like 5 minutes at the very end. So that was fun.
Well, you are always welcome. I'll actually invite you to the Titan Squad group, and you're welcome to hang out with us on Saturdays, because that's when we do most of our streamings now. Okay. But I am a very lazy person, and believe it or not, the Pope Fire Explains videos do take some time to make. Like, they don't look like it, but they do take time.
Okay, well, that's all good. Hey, taking time, quality's better than quantity. Yeah.
Yeah, quote unquote quality.
Okay, that's all good. Well, we're still waiting on Nerd Wonder, but that's all good. I'm going to say hi to the chat real quick, guys, and then we'll get into some topics here. So we've got Caitlin, the keeper of the Jeremys. If those on the panel aren't aware, Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy has spawned like 250 Jeremy accounts, and Caitlin keeps all them on a list and riled up. Her brother is also named Jeremy, so they probably think it's creepy, but she's cool. She's one of the best mods in the community. Always posting links. I just posted them down here so she can just post them throughout as she wants if she's going to stick around. We got Digital Pollution. That's Jez. He's I forget what country he's in, but he's been sober. He's not drunk. He's usually a drunkard, but he's cool. Yeah, he does stream with this other channel at dawn on weekends, and they've been doing watch parties lately, so that's pretty good. We got Princess Aruka. She's one that pretty soon she'll hopefully be launching her channel pretty soon, and she'll have some cool story ideas going. Not drawings, but she's got good stories in her head, so that will be fun. And if we got Jordan the Robin Outlaw, hey, what's up? He says, "Hell, Pope Fire." That is one of yours coming here. And Booster Kiwi, I think I remember Booster on a few of your streams. Pope Fire.
He's my sidekick.
He wants you to give his waifu back.
His waifu. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's,
he's my
that's
sidekick.
Just that's just the character you fancy.
Oh, okay, cool. And we got my buddy Jedi Rider Gaming here. What's up, man? And Lethal Lightning. I don't know if you guys know Lethal Lightning. He's another huge comic book reader and Star Wars lore guy. He's Australian. All that. Call him Aussie with that. All right, so that's pretty much the chat at the moment, getting people coming in. So for people that aren't as aware, Gateway into Comics, tell some people a little bit about what Comicsgate is, just so people have a little better idea about what that is.
Absolutely. Well, I can really only kind of lead off of my very own experiences when it comes to it. So I'll just kind of talk about those for the most part. So, everybody kind of goes through different financial
sorry, Mom.
perspectives as they go. So I guess for about 3 or 4 years there, maybe even 5 years, I really wasn't buying comics. I didn't have the money to put into the budget. Because it's kind of big, to be honest. I mean, if you're thinking about $4 and $5 issues, and now that I do have that money, it was maybe about 7 months ago I started buying comics again, and I was like, holy cow, this stuff is bothering me so much. And I started buying comics, and it was really the X-Men series that bothered me so much. So that was my first exposure to this. I started just simply looking up reviews on YouTube. I was like, someone's got to feel how bad this is. Someone's got to feel how bad this is. Because online, here's what I see. I see a bunch of people, they're kind of propping up these books, and they're saying that they won't rate anything above kind of a 7 or an 8, and it's creepy. It bothers me, because there are some books out there that can probably rate it a 3 or 4, and nobody's doing it, except for people on YouTube, and so I started watching some of these reviews, Zach, and goodness, man, I was just like fired up, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing the same thing because I've been a writer, and I really think that this is not just a good business model, but it's a way for people that could never be involved in the mainstream industry to actually break out by critiquing the books that are really bad right now. So that's kind of what I've been doing, when it comes to my involvement in that movement,
Okay, well, that's an interesting perspective there. Yeah, I've heard lately so often there's all these different angles of Comicsgate, and I mean, even from a viewer, I just kind of thought it was people that want to create their own comics that want to fund it through crowdfunding, and like, that's pretty much what I thought it was.
you can sum Comicsgate up in several different parts. I mean, you got like the main ones, like the comic creators, you got the fan base, and you got like the people like me who just like to do gay shit on Twitter.
Or the YouTubers, YouTube critics, right, and all that. Yeah.
Well, I said several groups. I wasn't gonna name all of them. It would have taken too long.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Just the brief, I think, was good. That's good for that. And just so people know, so yeah, I'm not a comics person really. This is more of a fandom menace, a Star Wars-ish pop culture community. But I'm starting to dip into it a lot more. I've watched some YouTubers for a while with it, like Gateway. I think I've followed you for quite a while now. Like Ashon Comics, Riot Kitty, found her, and some other smaller ones. Few of the big ones. I tried watching Blacklist Universe a lot at first, but he streams all day long, every day, so I can't watch it as much. I'm like, it's too much Mike.
Mike is really, really boring.
Yeah,
no, try being a mod for him.
Now his writing is fantastic, and so is his art. But I mean, man, his streams are kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. I hate to say it, but everybody, EVS says the same thing. It's good.
When they're every day, I think they would tend to lack substance. But it's still a cool dude. Still like him. But
yeah, of course, I love Mike.
Yes. But yeah, so I read my first comics. I was gonna wait for Cyberfrog, but it seems to be taking a little while. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, I got a comic panel coming on. I got to get something so I can have something to relate to with it. The Darth Maul Son of Dathomir, really good, especially if you guys like Star Wars stuff. And if you watched the show ever, the Clone Wars TV show, this really just kicks right off with it and makes you feel like you're continuing that basically. But then I also read. I also read this. Not X-23 2019. That's what I typed when I looked for it. I don't really know who it is by. I don't know if that matters, but yeah. So go ahead.
I want everybody on Team Starfire, because I know there's some people in the chat, to look at those covers and then tell him what's wrong with them.
Okay. You guys get on that. Sure. Cody Baedeker on there. Hail, everyone. Hail, Rookie Critic. Hey, buddy. Joshua Hughes. How's it going? He says X32. Yeah, Generator Gaming says, wait, did you say his first comic? Yeah. Oh, its first comic. No. That's all good. But no, the X-23 one was okay, but as a person, just, this is my second comic I read. I read them right after each other, like in one day, like just right there. And it was so boring. Like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. There's like 5 clones of Emma Frost. X-23 has a little sister, and she kind of has claw powers too, like Wolverine. And then there's something else with mind control, and then body sweat. I had no idea what the hell's going on, to be honest. But so let me ask you guys for the panel, for each of you guys, how does one brand new understand approaching comics?
Interesting. I would say approach it almost from a literary sense, and I know that may sound kind of contrived, but kind of when I look at things, everything almost has like a format, and you almost just want to hone in on, does this feel natural to my own story experience or my own life experiences? Can I relate to this? That's probably the biggest thing when it comes to comic books, and that's the biggest judge of it, as far as I'm concerned. And the most recent comics that I've read, man, I could relate to those characters. And if I can't relate to them, can I relate it to something in my life? And if the answer is no, then it won't hit home for me, and it probably won't hit home for most readers. But that's my experience with reading in general.
That's a good take.
I will say back issues are your friend. The dollar bin is your friend. Because current comic books now are very overpriced. Just for my pull list, which was only about I think I bought maybe 8 comics, it was $40. That's bad. I went and bought the entire Booster Gold run for $40. Okay. It's ridiculous. So definitely back issues, trades, dollar bins, those are your friends. You can always skim through the comic before you buy it. Try and go with characters that you've heard of before, or characters that you've seen and have shown interest in. Because comics are an addiction. When you get into comics, it's very hard to get out. And we have this because again it is an addiction because you just get addicted to these characters, and even when these characters are doing terrible runs, like I have every issue from the Starfire solo series, even though that's a book that's absolute garbage. I bought it because I'm a Starfire fan and because I'm addicted to reading Starfire based books. So you really want to be smart about getting into comics if you are new to it, because again, you may pick up a book like X, that book you just showed. I'm not even gonna, and and modern comics, because there are some older comics that are trash. We can't really pretend like all comics are gold from a certain era because it's not the case. But definitely check back issues, check the dollar bin. Because you can find some good comics in there. Just because they're in the dollar bin doesn't mean they're terrible issues.
Well said.
Makes any sense.
Well, thank you for that. That's some good advice. Thank you.
Okay.
And we got our featured guest, Nerd Wonder, has arrived. How's it going, Nerd Wonder?
Hello, I am fashionably late, as I like to say.
Well, that's just fine. He just came into the party at perfect timing. So, Nerd Wonder, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your channel?
Oh, okay. So, as everybody knows me as the high-pitched squeaky girl of heavy positivity and warm hugs, but my channel's a little bit different. Well, I review comics, but
I decided not to.
Eric, keep going. That's so good.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
Michael.
So I decided to go and instead of reviewing like everybody else does, I draw when I review. I draw part of the comic and so forth. Sometimes I just show the cover of the comic. Sometimes I open it up and I flip through a few pages, but not a lot, so I don't get copyright strike or whatever they do.
Good idea.
Yeah. And then I do my Burning Joyrides, which are based around Captain Frugal, who I co-host on his streams all the time. We're doing one tomorrow. So yeah. I just like talking in weird little voices and going on little ventures. And then sometimes I do, when I have time, I do the coverettes, which I've only done 2 episodes because they drive me up the walls because I'm really bad at editing. I have to edit everything specifically. But yeah, which I scream about covers of comics. And yeah, I mean that's me. I'm just the weird girl that speaks with weird voices all the time, and I just go around and I be weird. But yeah, I enjoy it. I always have fun, and I like talking to people, and I like finding out what you guys want me to review and look into, and I like talking to people that have like Indiegogos and stuff, and just regular people. I just like having fun with you guys.
All right, well, that's perfect. I'm glad that you're here today for it. I honestly kind of tried to pick you out because I've seen you on like Comic Skate streams or like with the EVS and stuff, and like you're always on a panel when there's like 10 people, and so we only hear you a little bit sometimes, and so I didn't know that much about you with that. I mean, they've had so many other people on. I know them quite well, and it's like, okay, let's get you some shine. let's get some of the smaller ones some shine too. I accidentally muted Riot Kitty. Hope that she's good now. With it, she's.
Oh no, it's fine.
Surrounded by cats.
With my dog.
Okay.
So,
all right, that's perfect.
He would not get out of my parents' bedroom.
I know that feeling. My cat might bug me today too, so we might see. But before we go on, I'm going to address the chat a little bit. Got more people coming in on here, so I'm going to address them real quick and then continue with some topics. Okay. We got the Jordan Robin Outlaw says they don't have Starfire on them. Says TheRookieCritic. Oh, when she was telling people to tell me. Okay. Mega Jetty 1 says, hello, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Turner, a.k.a. Mega Jetty 1, and you can bet on that. Did you see my vid on Batman and TMT being in a movie? Nope, not yet, buddy, but I'll be checking that out pretty soon. We got Caitlin, the Keeper of the Jeremys, posting our links in the chat for us. She's an awesome mod. Nerd Wonder, are you aware of the Jer Army?
No, there's a Jeremy Army?
Yeah, do you know Geeks and Gamers?
Yes.
Yeah, Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers has accidentally spawned like 250 parody accounts.
Oh yeah, and Caitlin on her Twitter has a list of them all. Well,
yeah,
almost all of them.
There's like 250 right now, I think, and they just keep on coming. There's a proper Jeremy. There's a Jeremy's hat. There's a soy Jeremy. There's
Thug Life Jeremy.
Are they on
Life
YouTube
Jeremy.
or are they just on Twitter?
They're mostly on Twitter. Some are on YouTube. Some actually have channels.
So yeah, it's so fun.
Did they all subscribe to PewDiePie against T-Series?
I would
I
assume
hope
most
so.
of them
They
have.
better.
I've been seeing a lot of people post that stuff. So
Okay,
hopefully.
you know what? I even saw a kid on Fortnite. He was like chatting sub to PewDiePie.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
Did you hear that people got banned off of Roblox for saying subterfuge?
Yeah.
I have watched every one of PewDiePie's videos. Unfortunately, I'm that guy, and I love it. I love him.
Right.
Oh, yes, I
I
think
feel
one
less
account-
lame now.
Oh yes, I think one account got banned for saying "Hi PewDiePie" in chat.
What?
Yeah.
That's right.
They another person got banned for making a T-shirt that said "Subscribe to PewDiePie" because PewDiePie got kicked off of Roblox. He got banned.
Yeah, I saw that. That was horrible.
That's
It's like,
weird.
wow. Now
Yes.
PewDiePie needs to make a Roblox like knockoff.
Stony McInternet Douche says the bans have been reversed, I think. So those might have been changed. But
Okay.
Joshua Hugh or the Booster Kiwi says, I don't upload content, but I want subs anyway. Well, then people in the chat sub Booster so he gets some subs then. Joshua Hugh says, I know just because they have been crossovers doesn't mean Starfire couldn't easily appear in Star Wars or a Marvel cover. Huh. Would you want Starfire to be on the Star Wars cover?
Not
Popefire?
modern Star Wars, no. No.
You don't want it next against the soy Luke and all that with Rey? Sue Rey?
No, that's Starfire.
Nope. That's okay. All right. So we talked a little bit about Comicsgate a little bit just to get people, because my fan base is more the world-class bullshitters, Doomcock-ish stuff, some more pop culture, Star Wars-ish stuff. So some of us are into comics over here, but I'm just dipping my toes in now. If you just missed, I read my first ones, the Star Wars Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, and then X-23 just to see if current Marvel ones are as bad as people say. Which, like I said, it wasn't horrible, but I don't want to read it ever again.
Well, they have improved from 2016, but not that much. I mean, you can tell that there's a bit more effort, I guess.
Some of them are okay.
We must resist, along with DC. DC, Bendis came and everything died. We must resist.
Superman is so bad, Nerd One. Superman looks so bad now because of Bendis.
Dude,
I love a lot of Bendis's old stuff, but I am anti-modern Bendis.
Modern Bendis went stupid. I mean, I think it was always kind of like that. After a while of seething and rage, I just become this belief that Bendis was always pure evil hellspawn because he ruined the comic that made me happy, which was Superman. How dare you?
Thank you so much for feeling that way. Yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wouldn't give Bendis' Superman to my left foot.
That's right.
It's not a good book.
I gave it to my cat.
Yeah.
If you remember Cat Wonder on Twitter, I gave it to Cat Wonder. He did not want it.
For people that have no idea what you guys are talking about, is it a brief explanation on how bad it is?
Okay. I want to say it because this was the thing that made me happy. Now angry. Please. Okay. So you guys, you know Bendis, right? If you guys don't know Bendis, it goes like this. Oh, hey. Hi, Bendis. What's up? Hi, I see you're playing with Iron Man. Yeah, I really like Iron Man. Guess what? And then he smashes it across the room and he goes, now it's gone. Oh, no, why would you destroy my Iron Man? He goes, now you get this new Iron Man. That Iron Man's a piece of paper that says I'm the best. And he goes, no, this is Riri Williams. She's so much better. I'm like, because she's black. But we have War Machine. Oh, did you hear about War Machine? What? And then he chucks that one across the room and he goes, it broke too. That's Bendis. That's Bendis. And he went up to Superman and he was like, hey, hear you liking Superman. What's your favorite part of Superman? I'm like, oh, it's John Kent. Well, you want to know what? And then he just chucks it across the room and he goes, I made it better. You broke him. I know. I made him 10 times better. I also introduced this new character. That's the paper cutout of Riri that you rewrote as Naomi. Do you have a problem, Bendis? No. Yeah, Bendis? What the fuck?
No, when Bendis came in, he didn't just ruin Superman. He ruined Titans, Nightwing, Teen Titans, Young Justice.
Yes.
There's so many books that have suffered. Titans is actually getting canceled, which the rumor is they're going to revamp it to go with the TV show, which is garbage.
Why would anybody want that? It's like horrible. Nobody watches that show. It's like
I watched that show.
The live action,
to it.
The live action DC streaming one.
Problem.
The streaming.
I watch it.
Yeah,
I
the
actually,
streaming show.
somebody threatened to call the police on me for having a bad review for that show. Okay.
What kind of
what
Tumblrites were you hanging
Sorry,
out with?
okay.
Only the Tumblrites
No, I
get
was-
mad at
what
us
I
for
was
saying that,
doing-
or the Twitterites. I don't know who
No.
does, because I think even Tumblr hates that show. I'm not sure.
No,
I haven't
they
been on
were
Tumblr.
upset because they kept trying to say I wasn't a fan. When you watch my Titans review videos, I have a giant wall of Starfire art behind me.
Yeah.
And I
Hope.
kept shooting down everything they said
Hope.
because they're like, yes.
We hear you.
Hope, I want you to know something. That's a troll, and they hate you for no matter what you say or do, no matter how cuddly or wonderful you are. SJW Spider-Man will
Oh,
forever hate me, no matter
yes.
what I do.
My Titans
Yeah.
reviews are not cuddly. I get drunk watching those. I get drunk and I still can't enjoy that show, okay?
And I do
Like the whole
understand,
purpose was to
like-
drink to enjoy the show and it still didn't help.
So hey, let me ask you, Nerd Wonder. I and Pope Fire, both of you, I agree with exactly what y'all said about Bendis's Brian Michael Bendis's most recent work. So this guy, you know, he's done some good things in the past. The last thing that I actually enjoyed by him was Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know if y'all agree with that.
No, I
Okay,
agree with that.
here's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing about Ultimate Spider-Man. It was fun
Yeah.
in the beginning, but now that I look back at it, I see a lot of problems and flaws with it, where it's like
Me too. Yeah,
maybe
I
it
get
was,
that.
I think it was just melancholy. Like it was just we were hyped because it was something new and we thought was different. And also
Right.
that came out around the same time as the Raimi films. So he was
Mhm.
jumping on that ship. So I now look at it and I'm like, but there's so many flaws and problems with this. And it's
Well-
just, and I know that at the same time he was pissed off because Quesada wouldn't let him age up Spider-Man because his
That's very
plans
true.
were he wanted Peter to go to college. He wanted Peter to get married. He wanted to do the whole entire thing for this new audience. But Quesada is, you know, he's the weird, creepy guy that nobody likes. For
Well
good
said.
reason. He's the Didio of Marvel. So pretty
Yeah.
much everybody wants him gone. So yeah. So Quesada really said he stated you can't age up Spider-Man. He's supposed to be young and perfect forever or whatever. And everybody's like, you need to get a hobby. But anyway, he said to him that you can age him up every 100 issues. And Bendis was like, and that's when Bendis flipped a table and said, "Fuck it, we're killing him," because he could age Miles, but he couldn't age Peter
Yeah.
because he was so tired of it.
The
But
way
It was good where it started, though. You know,
Yeah.
it really was. I love the series. I do. And that was the last one. That was the end of Bendis, so to speak.
Yeah.
The end of
Yeah,
Brian
it
Michael
was.
Bendis.
I don't know what happened to him, but he went cray, and he's like, "Everything is now mine. I made
It
Bobby
just-
Drake gay.
Yes,
You
like,
couldn't
It
make
just
any
gets
other
worse.
gay. You picked
It
the
just
worst
gets
X-Men to
weirder.
be gay. Who
Yeah.
already stated, "I'm not
Well,
gay." Like 400.
okay.
He's the
Here-
most womanizer out of a lot of these dudes.
Yeah.
That's why
I-
they picked him.
it would
He's
even
Oh,
it would
reason.
make more. I know this is crazy. This is crazy talk. What I'm about to say, but it would make more sense to make Wolverine gay.
Oh
than
yeah,
Bobby
no. I
Drake.
had a long conversation with a few people, and we're
No,
like,
but-
"Who else would be gay? Nightcrawler,
Yeah.
Wolverine, and Gambit." would be
Nightcrawler
way
would
more
not be
gay.
gay.
Nightcrawler's number one
Nightcrawler
on
is
my
Catholic. Nightcrawler
We-
is Catholic. He's not going to be gay.
Well,
No.
And
okay.
Gambit
Catholic
is
would be gay.
a
Wouldn't that be
womanizer.
cool?
Here's-
Catholics can be
here's-
gay, right?
Here's the thing, though. They claimed that they had always planned to make Iceman gay, but we have
No,
been
they
able to read his thought bubbles for decades.
I
If
have a
that were
Catholic gay
true-
buddy. I don't
If
know.
that were true, wouldn't
Here's
he
the
not
thing.
be thinking, wow,
Here's
that
the
dick
thing.
looks really
Here's
good.
the
I wonder if
thing.
I
Here's the
sucked
thing.
on it.
If he was always planned to be gay, then Stan Lee wouldn't have been like, "What?" and just reacted that way during an interview where they're like, "How about when they made Iceman gay?" He's what? It's like, obviously that was not the plan intention. All right, there's like 500 other characters that would have been great as being gay. Or hey, make a new character that's gay. Why didn't you make Riri or all these brand
okay.
new characters gay? Oh, that's right. They all have to be straight and woke. I don't know.
That's the
Make
thing,
Kamala
though.
gay.
They
Yeah.
take the right characters out and then bring them back with as either a minority or gay. And it almost feels like these characters weren't good or they weren't, like, we wrote them off so people would forget about them, and now we're gonna bring them back and pretty much
yeah,
give you
like-
guys the sloppy seconds.
Oh yes,
Right?
like giving
And then-
you the middle finger almost.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Like,
we
we're
finally
just
brought them
pawns.
back, but they're gay now. And they couldn't even, because when I read that comic, because I read it because I'm a bisexual female. I gave it to my gay friend who read it, and then I gave it to my trans friend who put it back after the, I believe, third page. My gay friend actually read it, and he told me, "I can't believe this exists." And what was it, 2016?
Yeah.
He was like, "This is nothing but gay stereotypes."
Yeah, my
Like,
friend,
that's all it was.
one of my one woman that worked at a comic book shop I used to go to, she's bisexual. I think she's married to a woman. She like, I asked her about the Iceman because people on the internet were telling me it's so great and stuff, and that's when I was first like learning about shit. So I was like, hey, how about that Iceman being gay? Isn't that great? And she goes, nope, no, it's not. And I asked her a few questions about it, and she goes, all right, do you want somebody to tell you that you're straight or gay? No, exactly. Why does Jean Grey, like, wouldn't he know himself better than anybody else? Yeah, then why does Jean Grey have to tell him? Why does Jean Grey
Jean Grey turned
Dude, she is
gay.
super villain. She made him gay, and I bet she made like 40 people straight. Like, okay. Obviously, she's the gay one, and Bobby found out that she is a lesbian for Dark Phoenix, but she can't let anybody know that because she needs Scott to make her evil plans work. So obviously, if he's about to tell Scott, you're whatever, like, she's gay, that's when she manipulated his minds and warped it so he thinks he's gay. That's how it happened.
That's super weird, isn't it?
The weird part is like, it came off as a supervillain moment too.
It is.
Because, like, and they didn't plan it. Like, this is how out of touch SJWs are. They think controlling people's mind is fine. That's not good.
It's
like that's not normal at all.
It's like, history always teaches us and so forth, which I'm shocked. They always are talking about being equality and so forth, but they're always acting like these historically the oppressors, like, the Romans that went after the Jews and said, you are now not going to worship Judaism, you're going to worship our gods and stuff. Like, oh, that works out so well for all other cultures. Really great time. Why do you think
that's absolutely right? That actually, exactly what you just said, kind of reminds me of censorship and how that's happened.
Oh yeah,
all throughout culture. Anime. This is it's kind of off topic, but on the same topic, I just kind of want to throw that out there that I've experienced some weird things. I went to high school in the Middle East, and I saw some crazy censorship. And actually, this is where I solidified my involvement in the comic book community. And I know that may sound weird, but I'll get back to that. It was fascinating. So my very first experience in high school in the Middle East, my teacher, she was like, hey, listen, we've got to edit these books. And she's my hero, by the way. I just want to say this, my biggest hero in the entire world, out of everybody. And she was like, hey, we've got to edit these books. The government has come to us and they've said, hey, we have to look at these books and we have to mark out certain passages. So everybody come up, take a marker. And she had this entire pool of Sharpie markers and highlighters. So yeah, oh man, I grabbed a highlighter and I was like, man, let's do it. If someone is saying let's censor something, this has got to be important. So she said the government has made it to where we have to censor out absolutely everybody has to mark this out. The Holocaust never happened. Israel is not a country, is basically the entire bottom line of it. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. How could I possibly? And this was normal.
You
guys are gonna
it was fascinating.
A fire in front of me that I commissioned.
And here's what's weird. I feel this same kind of
thank you for inviting me.
I feel the same kind of pushback within the comic book community in general, and I know that may sound crazy.
No, it's not.
But that's what kind of people are trying to do, is just push back against the I mean, people just trying to speak their minds. It's wild.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
so much craziness. Like, I don't know, like sometimes it reminds me of, like, it's not only comic books, it's also, of course, we know video games and anime. It's mostly all nerd culture. We are literally in a culture war where they're all like, like right now, what Sony moved to California, and they said, and they asked Californian Americans what is needed in the West, and of course, California Americans, the people working at Sony, are actually the people like probably game journalists, and they're like, we need censorship. Nobody needs boobies.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, we can't have this or that, and it's like, but we can't make games like that. Nonsense. Make all the games like this, and so.
That's absolutely right.
I was going to clarify for some people. I've only touched on the stuff with the gamer stuff just a little bit in the past, but it was like, weren't they trying to censor games that like were just being made that were put on the Steam or something, and they're having issues with the type of content that was on there when it's like you don't have to buy them. Yeah, they have the right to make the game and put it up the way they want, and people have the right to buy them or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Sony was doing Sony is now censoring games that are only going to be released in Japan, not just in the West.
Yeah.
So developers have to modify their games or risk them not being released at all. That infuriates me. Like, these are like little indie publishers. They're not big companies. And they make their living off like these 1 or 2 games a year that they make.
They should all go to the Switch. Oh, no, I'd say that the Xbox doesn't have a lot of, like, main exclusive titles. They should grab all of them. Like, hey, anime, hentai people, you want to go here? Because, like, the Switch is like, psh, I don't care as long as you put, like, look, we got enough family restrictions on this. We should be good. All right, we'll just put this in we have a mature spot. We'll dump all of them in there. We're good. No censorship needed. And it's like, wow, Nintendo, you're really cool. It's like, yeah, whatever. And then, but Sony has become, like, this weird super censorship. It's like, dude, you released God of War, which ends up with you banging a bunch of chicks to heal your health and lesbians topless running around, and yet this does not fly anymore. Well, they're underage. Then what about Catherine? Because Catherine, everybody's 30. That pisses me off. Like, somebody tried to defend it, being like, they're only doing it because of pedophile like substances because they're underage girls. And I'm like, one, Japan's age of consent is like around 16. So culture barrier difference. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that's why it happens. And 2, what? Like, seriously, Catherine's not allowed in. Over, like, adult women are not allowed in. No, they're using that as the excuse. They're like, this is my defense. It's not real. It's not real.
Well, what's crazy is how they think that everybody will be influenced by media like that, or that they'll be influenced by video games or comic books, music, whatever, like throughout time. They're like, oh, this will corrupt you. And it's like, no, if anything, it'll keep you from being corrupt, because you can, especially in a video game, you can do whatever weird shit on a video game that you want and then just not do it in real life.
They actually said that our research stated that that it actually lowers anger is video games, because that is your stress reliever. Like, you really want to punch your boss, you'll go play Grand Theft Auto and beat somebody up in there.
Yep, you ever want to steal a car, do it all day in here? It doesn't matter.
That makes a ton of sense to me. I taught kids martial arts for probably about 6 years, but in between that, I've always practiced martial arts, and so that's probably the biggest thing for me. That's my escape, and if I didn't have that, man, I would be frustrated as all get out, and that makes 100% sense to me. In any kind of passion like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Big time. Everybody, anything else to that, Gateway?
And then, people do not like to be lectured. If you lecture them on something, they are more likely to go the opposite direction.
Well said.
Good point,
Absolutely.
right?
Very good point. And people feel like they have the answer to other people's problems. And it's so weird because, hey, goodness, we're individuals. That's the most important thing, I cannot possibly imagine preaching a political opinion to someone else. I don't actually have many of those in general. I just have social opinions. But man, you know what? It's not our responsibility to push our values on other people, just to have our own and to, hey, have a conversation with people. talk to people about theirs.
Yeah,
we may
exactly.
learn something.
Yeah.
We may learn something from everyone.
It's like,
That's the
if
bottom line.
If you don't like something that they like, you don't got to do it. I'm a picky ass eater. I don't like potatoes. I don't like pie. I don't like bananas. But it's like, if people, it's no one else's problem. Because if you do, you can still eat them. Good. It's like, it doesn't affect anyone else. The same with games, comics, everything. It's like, I don't understand why they're so worried. I don't understand why people are so worried about the kids' minds with this kind of thing. And it's like, if it's for the video game thing, if they're, the games are rated. I mean, the parents don't have to buy it for their kid if they're worried, or you buy it for them, tell them, what to expect, and there you go. Somebody in the chat mentioned, or Princess Haruka in the chat mentioned, Anime Gate is happening now.
It is. Okay,
Yep.
it's not Anime Gate.
We're all going to watch Umbrella, guys. So yeah, if you want to, Nerd Wonder, if you're up to date on some of that stuff, why don't you tell
I
us
am as
more.
well.
Okay.
I'd like to do something.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
Oh, I'd like to mention something about Anime Gate. You can go first, though.
Okay. As long as you're okay with that. So it was known it was going to happen, and slowly, pretty much, as I already believe, that we're slowly fusing into one gate, and it'll be called Nerd Gate soon, or we'll call it something else, because it's pretty much like everything got swarmed in. But it was always known that anime was being heavily pushed. They would always try it once in a blue moon. They first of all, they went for video games, then they went for comic books, but then we started seeing slowly bits and pieces of them going after anime, like saying this is too overly sexualized and so forth. But it becomes more and more and more, and suddenly you notice more of a flood of people screaming at some creator, and then it becomes even worse and worse, to the extent that Funimation has dubs that have been re-altered to push a political agenda, where they actually mention the patriarchy in Gamergate and all this other, and SJWs and millennial stuff. And it's like, excuse me, what's this woke BS in my anime? This is not going to make any sense in the future. Why are you putting this culture war stuff in here? And people revent. They said, you don't put this in here if you don't want us to if you want an anime gate, we'll come. And then they apologized and they said, well, we'll fix it. We'll never do this again. So everything settled down for a bit. And then we get to Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll reveals they're making their own anime, which is Tumblr garbage that
Steven Universe.
Yeah, Steven Universe Tumblr garbage that is created by what Rainbow Squid, another YouTuber, discovered. It was all made by con artists in a group that likes to that the front is their women in animation, but in reality, they just take money from girls that are all across the world. I mean, all across the United States. But you only get help if you're in New York or California and you have the big bucks. Everybody else is thrown to the side. So they'll just say, believe in yourself. That is literally what you're paying like $70 for. So pretty much she got scammed for a month, threw it out, and so forth. And she did some digging up, and when she found out that's who's making High Guardian Spice. But the biggest issue with that, which upset people, was that they were promised that if you register for Crunchyroll, the money's going to the anime creators. And when they saw the High Guardian Spice, they're like, that's where the money's going? And they investigated, and people from Japan actually did admit this as well when they were questioned about it. It's like, yeah, I don't see a lick of that money. I don't see a penny or a yen of any of it. So
yeah, that infuriated me immensely.
Oh yeah, we all were like, drop Crunchyroll. But then the nail in the coffin, because I think we all believed that for a point that it was going to be contained. It was stopped when it happened. But then this is what happened. Vic Mignogna got accused of sexual harassment. It was never rape or anything. It was just that he was too touchy-feely, and he was an asshole. I mean, yeah, he could be an asshole. He's like, I've known people that are touchy-feely kind of thing, but it's not as bad as I think they're making it out to be. And every time they had an accusation where they said they had real sources, it all has come out as blatant lies. But people are firing him. And what really pissed me off was when Rooster Teeth fired him. Even though there was no substantial evidence, it's obvious they have to fire him because of the business and so forth. Like, it would look bad. But then they start writing Kick Vic on everything. Kick Vic this. And that's when it's like, oh, hell no. And it's just a flood of everything of this ancient war that has been sleeping. And thus, Anime Gate was always prepared. Like everybody,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be called Anime Gate. That is the number one thing. Apparently, all the anime people have been prepping for this day of revolution, and they're going to
I
call
bet.
it else.
What's so ridiculous isn't all the accusation stuff from people again that don't even watch this stuff. They don't even not even fans. The ones that are making all the accusations, and
a lot of them, I think, are the ones that hate the Resin Bowl Rangers, which is his fan club. I grew up around the time that I had friends that were like diehard fans of Vic, and I thought they were kind of weird too. But it was always well known that he wasn't liked, but mostly because the thing that was running around was he was homophobic because he refused.
Because he was a Christian, right?
Yeah, because and also because he refused to sign Yowie. And they're like, well, obviously, if he's not signing Yowie, he's homophobic.
Right.
He just didn't think it was and he was always very respectful of when he said, I'm sorry, I just don't feel comfortable signing this. But, in a diehard fangirl, in a toxic situation, I hate to say it, but us women have never been told no in the nerd community. A lot of them have never been told no in their life, so they don't know when to shut up and stop. You gotta be let's face it. Who tells Tumblr no? Who tells Tumblr this is wrong?
They know there's an option.
They never stop them. Who tells the people at the girls at conventions no? Nobody.
No one.
It's condoned. It's always yes because I guess us girls can do no wrong. But really, you got to make them mature, and the only way to make people mature is to tell them no, so they know this is a bad thing. I'm sorry, I know it sounds stupid, but it's like, come on.
That's perfect.
That sounds about right.
We know nerds. We know nerds of dudes that don't know like distance and so forth. So you're supposed to teach them no. Like a lot of people that are nerds know how to socialize, and that's because they were taught no. You have to teach these people no. Teach them no.
Critique is important, and these people they think that no is harassment, but no is simply it's just simply a reaction to insanity. To be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you're not told no, then what is your limit? You don't have limits set upon you by being just like told yes every single time. So
that's a good point. You don't have boundaries, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not functioning in society because they've never been told no.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
A good point.
I think I think that is a big issue. Is at least that's from what I'm gathering. Because I don't know, I used to be a antisocial psychopath too at a point, but here's the thing: I grew up like I've been told no constantly in my life, but it's really like they say, like, the cons are these places or where I can really be myself. It's like, well, not really. It's just you found a place where there are no boundaries, that you can do whatever you want without rules and regulations, which is meaning you're not taught morals and you're not told restrictions, which means that you don't know when people say no. And that's how I feel it is, where people go too far with things, is that maybe nobody's taught you no. And I don't know, maybe I can make a whole entire video about
I bet you could.
Sounds like a good video, especially just say no. Just say
no. And more
that's
like,
right.
It's time to say no to women. Tell women no.
Yes.
So
that should be a hashtag.
Could I possibly ask a question of maybe all of you, if possible? Go
ahead.
What have y'all read recently that has just sent you over the edge and been like, man, this is good? And comic books, literature, whatever. I mean, as far as even film, what have you watched, read, or what has inspired you in this past week that you've either read, watched, and has made you been like, oh my gosh, this is legit?
Oh, I can answer that question immediately.
Fantastic.
Definitely The Silencer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I have the first 12 issues. I haven't read number 13 yet. I've heard it's bad, but I'm still going to buy it anyways. It's a good series. And
legit.
I know that some people like would look at the covers and be like, "Oh, it's like a weird, angry black lady on the first cover, but it's actually really good. I like it.
Cool.
It's about a former assassin of Talia al Ghul's trying to make her own life, and then she's pulled back into like this gang war by her, and she's trying to stop her. It's very good, and I'm
Nice.
surprised that there's not more promotion of the Silencer, but I'm betting it's only because she is a wife and mother.
Now, who published that?
DC.
Oh,
okay. DC.
Yep, DC.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. I actually haven't seen that. What issue are they on now?
They're on number 13. I think number 14 is going to be coming out soon.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll have to check that out. I'll have to at least look at it. I have the unlimited. I might be able to get a couple of them for free. I doubt it. I'll probably buy it. That's fine.
Well, I was going to say in the chat real quick, Mage81 said this a few times, so I'll get it to him. He says that Joe Quesada is what's wrong with Marvel Comics. He ended Peter/MJ's marriage so he can pair him with the character based on his daughter, and ended crossovers with DC with an insult. When he says his daughter, is he saying Peter's daughter or Joe Quesada's daughter?
No. It's his daughter. Like they killed her off. And it was always like, even if everybody says it was well known that Mayday was supposed to happen, and if we see even like Renew Your Vows and stuff like that, and all the other Secret War stories, he usually has him with the daughter. Some people believe Mayday was still alive and all this other stuff because she was supposed to be still living. Quesada really, like, he went through a divorce. He got really angry, and he's like, if I can't be happy, nobody can. Like, he always envisioned himself as Spider-Man, which makes it 10 times creepier that the romance he was heavily forcing on Peter when he forced One More Day was his own daughter.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know how old she was, but I'm believing she was underage at the time too, which is even more disturbing because he made them bang. Like, him and him.
Interesting. Wow.
Carly Cooper is his daughter, and she is super boring and everything because she is the first sign of Bendis era. Like, let's face it, she's the Riri Williams of that time.
Wow.
I can be wrong.
We said it at the same time.
Yeah.
And then what's the next one? Michelle Gonzalez, who was a rapist. It's so great, so great. Oh, and Cindy Moon was a rapist too.
Holy God!
No.
Nerd Wonder, can I Nerd Wonder? Can I ask you possibly the same question I asked Right Kitty? Did you read anything this week?
Okay, calm down.
Yes,
did you read anything this week that was good?
Okay, yes, I did. I haven't been able to pick up a lot of stuff. I haven't been able to pick up my comics yet. I mostly read the Antarctic Press. So if it was
well done.
Yeah, I love the Antarctic Press. I love everything they do.
They're
and that's
good.
like, I love Gao. I love Plush. I love of course, like Rags is a pretty good one, of course. And Cullen's going to be coming out there soon. Tainted Love. Punchline, of course. Punchline.
Man,
I love
great.
it. But,
I follow Punchline. I've only followed the first couple episodes. Man, it was good. I didn't pick up the third. I'm excited about him. Yeah. He's doing great. That's awesome.
No, definitely pick it out. But these weren't out this week, I don't think so. I've been reading on my Shonen Jump app, which I bought for like $2 per month.
Yes.
I've been really into this series. I didn't think I was going to get into it. It's We Never Learn, and I think the reason I get so into We Never Learn is that the story goes into everybody keeps talking about that. I don't think Marvel and DC understand what a genius is. Because to them, a genius means you know everything. Like you know everything. Like, oh my God, you're good at science. Well, that also means you're really good at math and doctorates and all these languages. You know all this stuff about literature. And it's like, no, that's not how things work in the real world. Like a mechanic is not going to be like a person that works with robotics is not going to be the same as a person that works with biology or philosophy or history. But they believe this. But We Never Learn does it perfectly because it's about this dude and these two girl geniuses, and they're like really smart. One's really smart as violence, the other one is like an amazing writer. And the thing is, that's the only things they're good at. They're horrible at everything else. Like they suck at math.
Oh, cool.
They suck at history. They suck at English. They suck at like everything else on the dang planet except for these subjects. And
That's good development. That's fantastic.
Real people.
So this dude
Yeah.
hired, who's like who's a pretty smart kid and so forth, is hired to be their tutors. And so it kind of also, like, I guess it's really good for high school and like middle school students because it also teaches them, like, it's teaching like how to write and so forth. So it'll get like they'll write it how specifically, like, that's a vowel, that's a noun, and then they get a girl in the mix, and she's as she calls herself, the dumb jock, because all she's good for is swimming, and she's really cute too. And so it's like I have to teach you everything and stuff, and it's like it's a really good series because as you said, it shows a lot of effort and work. It's not like I'm so good at all my tests. It's like, no, I'm only good at science. How do you suck at math then? I don't know. But,
That's so good. I love that.
I suck at math immensely.
Yeah, right. I'm so bad at math. I'm kind of good with English. I'm getting better. I'm getting better as I write. Yeah. That's so cool for you to say that. Can I make a representation in modern comic books today? I'm gonna bring Brian Michael Bendis up into this nightmare. So he did not create this character. He wrote Ironheart, and it was a nightmare. The guy was horrible at it. It was terrible. Here's what's so cool, and you just kind of described what is happening within that comic book today. I am subscribed to it. I cannot turn away from it. I actually really enjoy Eve Ewing's writing on Ironheart, and the reason why is because she actually gives Riri Williams flaws, fears. She develops the character. Brian Michael Bendis, he just made it into it. She was a sociopath, and she was terrible. It was so bad.
And they say that he based it on his daughter. Like, he made her to be his daughter, which I think he's doing over at DC. It's like, you're terrible at it. Don't write your daughter, because she's gonna grow up and be like, Dad, you're so creepy.
Self-insert. I hate that.
You want to know
both right.
Like, stop making your projects your own personal therapy sessions.
You want me to ruin?
Yes.
You want me to ruin something even worse for you, Riot Kitty? Okay. Remember the sucky Spider-Man cartoon that they made to replace the other sucky Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon? Okay. Brian Michael Bendis was like running that and calling shots along with Dan Slott, two people I hate. And so, no, not Brian Michael Bendis. It was Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada was running it. And Dan Slott, two people I really hate. And Joe Quesada added himself into the thing to be like Peter's mentor, like, guy, this guy named Joe. And he was like, it's me, and I voiced it and everything. And I was like, oh my God, it's the Powerpuff Girl reboot syndrome. Like,
oh dear God, you slapped me right in the face. I just realized the character's Joe Quesada.
Yeah, it's Joe Quesada. The Joe guy is actually Joe Quesada, and I was joking around and being all like, "Wow, I didn't know Powerpuff Girl syndrome could go that far." If you guys don't know, I think mostly everybody knows though. The Powerpuff Girls reboot, there was a character which Blossom is in love with and has a super crush on this dorky guy. And what people found out, it is one of the story writers. And as a kid, he had a super crush on Blossom. And so he wrote himself in to the show, and they made him and he makes himself be this super crush, like Blossom have a super crush on him.
I've never heard of this kind of writing, this much self-inserting.
It's called fanfics.
Yes.
Like, I do not know, like, rich fanfic creators, like, that's the only thing I can think of. It's like, man, you all are rich, because, like, this is the only way fanfic writers have gotten away with this.
Okay, the worst self-insert I've ever seen is Netflix Shira. I hate that show with a burning passion. And apparently, Glimmer is Noelle Stevenson's girlfriend. And the Queen of Bright Moon is her mother. That
I have a question. Why does Noelle Stevenson has terrible taste in women, and also who would date her?
I don't know.
The writers of the show.
I was watching that for Thanksgiving because I told my friend I'm gonna watch all of it so I can make a video or something about it. And I turned off the volume. I was on a Discord, turned off all the volume, put on subtitles, and I started screaming. Like I did.
Yes, the voices are infuriating.
There is literally an episode where Ben and Jerry's workers defeat the army of Spartans from Halo using blankets and buckets. Okay, does that make any sense to you?
No. No.
Okay, the worst episode for me was episode, I believe it was 5, and they met Seahawk and Mermista. Mermista is a valley girl for some reason who doesn't want help even though her kingdom is being destroyed, and Seahawk is like a trans man or something who is also a Han Solo ripoff.
That I think Seahawk has a thing for him or something. It makes no sense because also like what's even funnier is what they said. We're going to make this show less sexualized. Like we're not making her feminine to make sure that nobody like jacks off to it. But then literally, that's what they literally said. But here's the here's the interesting point. Here's 2 interesting points for you. Number 1, everybody's from Tumblr that is making this show, and Tumblr has been discovered to be just hosting tons of child porn. And here's number 2, it's already known these kids are underage, and that they always hinted at a Catra She-Ra romance shipping. In other words, they're romanticizing and sexualizing underage girls.
Oh no!
Yes.
Wow.
It's pedo bait. It's
that
if
is
you really want to
so
think about it,
dark.
you could say it's Jared Subway's favorite show.
That creeps me out so much. I feel like I've been defiled just by hearing about that.
I'm learning so much today.
Never anger a bunch of women who like shit.
Yeah.
This is Riot and I we're gonna just we will hate She-Ra. I never even saw the original She-Ra. I just saw this show and I was screaming, and then a friend of mine was like, now you gotta watch the real She-Ra, and I'm like, it's gonna be stupid, and he's like, it's cheesy but it's enjoyable. And then they would start throwing me people online were throwing me episodes because I was ranting like, oh, here's another thing about the new She-Ra. Okay, this is how it all works out. This is how the evil, I forget, what's the army's name?
Evil Horde.
The Evil Horde. Okay, so the Horde is like, okay, every person of the Horde, okay, so we have the leader of the Horde, but everybody in the Horde is Jesse and James from Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
That's the Horde, but it's a bajillion of Jesse and James and 32 Meowths. So it's literally derp, 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 blasting off again. We can't do anything. And
do they at least do the theme song? No.
No, they don't even have that. And Giovanni is leading them as per usual. And once again, but this time he's kind of stupid and he's like, they're doing fine. It's like, Giovanni, Team Rocket has once again just took all your money and has failed to capture a single electric rodent. And he goes, everything's good. No, it's not. No, it's not. You literally got defeated by 4 small children. Do you see anything wrong?
I mean, I'll just say that
I mean, heck, I'm rewriting She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And
I really rewrite it too. Don't worry, we can. Can I rewrite it with you? It'll be great. I like to redraw them.
I'm redrawing them too. I actually posted a few photos on Twitter.
Oh my gosh! Why don't I follow you?
Okay.
That's good. I'll post if I don't post your link in the chat, Caitlin the Keeper Jeremy as well. So Caitlin, if you can,
She-Ra and the Princesses of Power hatred.
We're now friends forever.
Caitlin, if you can post Kitty's Twitter or if you can post any of these guys' Twitter in the chat, that'd be awesome. You can find them probably on my page if you don't find them by search. So.
Right. We're now friends. We're now friends forever. Okay, we can go on adventures together and talk about how She-Ra Like, I've actually met people that have literally told me their ideas for a better She-Ra Princesses of Power, and I like it. Like, I actually am really enjoying watching the original She-Ra. Like, there were some cool episodes, like one where
Yeah,
sorry.
when you see something that you like and then you see something done worse, it gives you ideas on how you can make it better, and it becomes fun in that way that you can write it better
I never
than
saw the original though, so now I'm seeing it. I'm like, wow, no wonder people liked it, because I can see, though it's really cheesy, it's not for me like the original Thundercats, but at the same time, I can always see glimmers of really good things in there. I'm like, well, that works. That's really stupid, but if you throw that around, it's fine. So honestly, there's a making variant here.
I will say this though, there is one good thing about She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And it is that the Queen of Bright Moon has a much better design, and she calls everyone out on their bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to agree with that. I did see the Glimmer and Bright Moon's designs in the original, and they look the same. I was like, okay.
I don't know. I always thought the Queen of Bright Moon was a little creepy in the original, because you know, animation was limited, but she literally moved like a doll.
What also is interesting about this new one is that I don't see a lot of people. I usually see like 12.
Yep.
And instead of like a lot, and even though animation back then and the Filmation crew was like working on a shoestring budget, they still put in a lot of people. And this one, it's like, I think there's like 6 people in this kingdom. I'm like, did everybody die? How did you die? You're being defeated by Team Rocket every weekend. Like, it's literally.
Yeah. I'll give it one tiny bit of credit though, because I watched maybe 3 episodes just to see what everybody's talking about. Because when it was just blowing up, everybody didn't like it. I will say it's something that could be on if you're like forced to watch kids and that's what they want to watch.
No.
Like if I were to watch that compared to some other kids shows, I might not stab my eyes out. But if it's like 5 episodes in a row, I could definitely see some eye stabbing going on. But like first three, I'm like kind of going.
I can tolerate it.
That moment's okay, but then that's kind of weird. And this is
I can tolerate it.
I mean,
you can tolerate a lot. I can tolerate a lot of stuff. I can sommes tolerate Steven Universe. But I can't tolerate that, okay? Like, My Little Pony was a better show.
Toleration isn't really credit. It's not exactly good points. It's you're barely skating by. Like you're gonna fall.
It hurts, okay? Because I know this is like Thundercats Roar. I never saw it, but it's terrible because I liked the reboot. I thought that was really good. The 2000 reboot. I was like, oh, this is actually really good. Very well done. Here's the fun factoid. I know people complain. It's like, well, if you wanted that, you should have kept watching it instead of it getting canceled. Thing is, it only got canceled because Lego came up with Lego Chima, and Cartoon Network had to decide if they wanted to continue to season 2, or did they want the super cheap one that Lego was paying them to do. Oh yeah, they like money. So yeah, they chose.
That was a crime. They at least could have finished the 2nd season of Thundercats 2011.
There's a whole entire segment, like the animators did say they were already in writing of it. Like one of the writers has there's somewhere he tells the whole entire story premise of the next season of the Thundercats.
I know, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. Like it was gonna be like Lionel was gonna feel like betrayed by everybody, and then there was gonna be a whole entire episode about him and his brother. So
I think I got it.
Yeah, you're back. You okay there?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is absolutely ridiculous. So good to be back. Sorry.
Okay, well you haven't had any problems so far, so other than just that, so that's good.
Fantastic.
That's all good.
Hey, so go ahead.
Just don't watch what's that Marvel Legacy cartoon? What is it called again?
Secret Warriors.
No, not Secret Warriors. It's Rising. But like I've seen clips of that.
Oh, with
it looks like
Squirrel
She-Ra.
Girl. You're talking about with Squirrel Girl, and
and
they actually hired that same girl that did played, oh my goodness, Quake in the actual series of S.H.I.E.L.D. They hired that girl to do the voice actress for for Quake. Chloe Bennett, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean she's a an icon as far as modern female Marvel is concerned. Of course, that she is the icon. Yeah, I mean Well, not now. Brie Larson is taking that lead.
Okay, we're gonna transition into that in just a little bit, but
good.
I
Hey,
can't wait to talk about that.
me too. Can I ask one quick favor before we continue?
Okay.
I know that I ask a kind of questions about how y'all have perceived comics in the past week. This is what's fascinating. I would love to touch on this. It'll probably only take a minute, and I'd love to just kind of push it at the end. But man, this is incredible. This dude actually blew me away. So I get reserves. I'm only up to about 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But this guy, I have a lot of people send me scripts or send me dialogue, and they say, hey, how's my stuff? Now, this guy's stuff blew me away as far as an indie creator is concerned. And it's called Guinevere and the Divinity Factor. And I'm going to actually create a YouTube video on this. It's probably my favorite indie comic that I've actually seen. And if you can see this art just right in front of you, you can see, I mean, they're definitely...
That is beautiful.
My gosh. Isn't it cool? I'm actually really surprised by this guy, and he's not a part of Comicsgate. He's adjacent, and so he's very sympathetic to our, Comicsgate as far as that's concerned. It doesn't matter. He's an indie creator, and he's amazing. Yeah, and I'm really happy about this comic book. So I've read maybe, I hate to say it, maybe 15 comic books this week. This is the best comic book that I've read this week, and it's an indie creation. And so I'm probably going to post this in the link below. It's all about just kind of, I mean, look at these females. They're just shapely and lovely, like you would expect.
They look like women.
Yeah, they look.
Yeah. Look, she has a butt. She's got curves. She's not straight. I remember somebody wanted to point out they blacked out a character and hid away the hair, and they went, is this a man or a woman? And we literally had to guess from it, like, let's play a game, is this a man or a woman? And I said it's a man. Like, it's a trick question because it's Marvel, and Marvel can go either way, but it's like the hands are too big to be a woman's, the wrists are too fat. It was a woman. It was Laura.
Was it a woman or a woman?
And I was like, what?
Yeah. And so this is a good comic. I can't praise this enough because the story's amazing. The storytelling's great. The art's incredible. So I just want to push that before we go on. But anything y'all want to talk about from this point forward, let's do it. Yeah, and I'll talk about it again later. Yeah,
that's good. I was actually going to say, if you guys have any personal projects that you guys want to push in a sec, I was going to show some things I did a long time ago. I'm not in any way an artist or a drawer, really. Like I said, I just started getting into comics now. So I was going to show a few things I have. And if you guys have any projects you want to show, feel free to find those, get those up or put on camera if you want. In just a few minutes, I'm going to stop presenting from Gateway. Just one sec. All right. Yeah, I do this all the time, and then I'm like, how do I screen share myself? Duh. A sec. All right, so while I'm getting my things all ready, if there's something else you guys randomly want to talk about, go ahead.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about the Brie Larson stuff, weren't we?
I feel like that's going to be a big one.
That is big.
Oh my.
It's very interesting and deep and filled with, I have a superiority complex and I'm better than everybody.
She's very smug.
Yeah, it's funny because she acts like this is the greatest thing ever, even though it's been admitted she originally didn't want this job. She didn't want to do this at all. She thought it was stupid.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
I do have something really quick to say about Rooster Teeth, at the very least, and Ruby. I am done with Ruby. I'm done with Rooster Teeth. Screw you guys. You let go of one of your most famous voice talents without a word, and you also killed a man in favor of lesbian shipping. you stupid people who want to pander to the shipping community, and that is never a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Let's not join the shipper. It's like, dude, they ruin everything. It's been they're way too. You want to what? Let's make a comic. Let's make a comic. I wanted to do this. Make a comic about shippers and fan bases, and just make the most toxic fan base. It's all derived of women that are just going after this one girl and wanting her to kill herself. Like the worst psychological horror comic of all time.
Yeah, not very fun at all. No. But yeah, so what's on? What you see on?
Actually that is my next video. Why I'm done with Ruby, and
that's good. You know when you're gonna post that?
I think I'll probably do it Friday. I've been a little bit busy.
Okay.
But hopefully I'll get to it Friday. I mean, my schedule's kind of random. That's why I'm just like, most common upload days, but don't expect me to upload.
I will share stuff.
That's all good. That's all good. But yeah, so what you're seeing on the screen is my atrocity of trying to draw a cover for an idea I had, but I wanted it to be a film, by the way, because I'm a film guy. So I'm thinking script, and I wrote a whole script, and then I was like, I took an intro to cinema class where they wanted us to draw a storyboard, and I'll show the storyboard for that in a sec, but I'm like, the idea is like, picture Jason Momoa, but he gets really fat, and he's got to kind of be a hero somehow too. Like, it's kind of a comedy and then drama, and it was supposed to be like he's a werewolf from I don't know, like 1,000 years ago or something, and then he's like a warrior back then, and he's like fighting, and then he's in the middle of a battle, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be fighting together forever, right? Cut to the present, he's on a couch eating Funyuns, playing video game, drinking beer or something, got a Call of Duty shirt on. And I thought that'd be a funny idea for a comic, but or for a movie. And then I'm like, maybe a comic, but I don't really draw that often. So that was my attempt at that a while ago. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, not so much. When you guys have something on the screen to show, let me know in a sec.
I have something.
You're better at drawing wolves than I am, at least.
Really? That's crazy, because it is not.
I am terrible at drawing wolves.
I like your vampire. That's a good vampire in the shooting laser beams are pretty human versions.
It's supposed to be like people with powers, werewolves, vampires, all that. It's like, so the chick too, by the way, is supposed to be, this wasn't for anything. There was an actress on the show Castle that I saw. She was like a black British chick, and she was kind of bi, but I wasn't sure. So I was like, oh, that'd be kind of funny to have that type of character in here. Have Jason Momoa. He's modern day werewolf now. He used to be a warrior. Now he's kind of fat and needs to get back into shape a little. And he's got the chick is a black female werewolf lesbian.
Wow.
And okay. That's a mouthful to say. And I have a block. The hidden base of the bad guys is a Blockbuster, because I don't know what a modern day abandoned building would be other than a Toys R Us now.
Well said.
That's legit, man. They still can't get rid of those.
Yeah,
isn't it Disney's fault that Toys R Us has fallen under to begin with? Is that the consensus?
It somewhat is. I mean, they were having enough issues in the beginning anyway, but yeah, it was their fault.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that's fun. That's so fun.
Yeah, this guy here, that's to the right, is supposed to be black, but I don't know how to color it to make it look good. So just keep it white. Everybody's skin is white in it, just because I'm coloring with colored pencil, and I'm drawing with a friction pen.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just like, and I made it shorter for for a panel. I had a different story total in mind, but then just had to make it real quick, and he's getting his ass kicked. And then he's like puking up blood, and then he for this sake I had him transform and then win, but in my version he gets his ass kicked and loses and needs to get back into shape. And then the start of the next one would be like a cut on him lifting weights, and then it zooms out and he's eating a chicken leg while he's doing it. It's still hard to lose it, but he's getting there.
Little by little, right? Little by little.
Yeah,
only be careful for this very reason. Diversity is our strength. Diverse.
Also, you said to share what was on your screen.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah, here, I'll take it off now. If you
no. I was asking. You said to tell. Yeah, I'll show something.
All good here. So I'll get you. You've got one on. I'll present to you now.
I'll show something. I just have to find it.
Okay, yeah, you can look for it. Nerd Wonder's got something on her screen. So why don't you tell us about that?
All right, that's okay. I'm starting a little comic I'm gonna do on Twitter. This is the first one I ever did of it. I think you guys know of it. It was a Dobson comic.
I saw that tweet. That made me laugh. I don't know why.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a series of it because I was told, you know how to be funny. It started with me drawing a sequel to the Dobson comic, but then I was told, I was suggested by a friend of mine. It's like, hey, I mean, Dobson's funny and all, but should we really like? Is that gonna be your only joke? Is Dobson? Don't do that. And so I'm like, right. I have to make fun of everybody. So I'm gonna make a comic. We're gonna do the rest of the Dobson, but that'll come later. But I'm gonna write a comic called Culture Wars, which is gonna be online. It's on Twitter. It's just gonna make fun of everything we see because I've been really inspired by other people that have been around us and so forth, that have been just showing their work and so forth, and writing little comics on Twitter and so forth. So yeah, I like saying so forth a lot for some reason.
So that can have like the creators in it or the characters that they have in it that you're doing?
It's going to be just a lot of Twitter people and a lot of internet YouTubers and stuff. And just I'm not going to try to be very on the point of like what creators they're based on, but it is making fun of like the industries, all the industries, and how terrible they are, and how though they try and make us sound like assholes, we're really just the most logical thinkers, I guess.
Exactly.
Like,
well said.
The Dobson comic, I think, I noticed a lot of they call it the anti-CG comics that they make of us. They're usually it ends with them being incredibly violent, beating the shit out of somebody they don't like. And so my main objective was like, all right, if I'm gonna do a comic like this, I cannot inflict danger or hurt. Like, I'm not going to hurt the other people. Like that would go against everything I'm supposed to. So it's like really just very quiet and calm people, just like showcase. Like that's what the Dobson comic was supposed to kind of just showcase. Like, look, there's a black dude. These are just people I hang out with constantly. So yeah, like we got chicks, we got a Middle Eastern guy.
Do you want to read the bubble so people in the chat can laugh with that? Because I know I found it funny.
The Dobson one?
Yeah.
All right. It goes like, Dobson just like busts in. He's like, all right, what would Dobson sound like? Like, all right, you communicators, I'm here to stop your plans of harassing women and minorities. so sad. Who's ready to eat what?
Oh my God.
I like inflating women. I don't know. Is that what Dobson sounds like? I don't know. And then my friend, who's known as Vile Corruption, he does a lot of cringe videos on YouTube. He goes and says, did this rejected Care Bear ask us to fuck him? And it would just continue on just saying weird, stupid stuff. And it would yeah, it's pretty much we can't get rid of Dobson. Like, no matter what we do, we can't get rid of Dobson.
And he's always mad at something, huh?
Yeah. Like we try to call like animal control on him, but they won't take him. And then it's like we just have to let him stay, and just like how we deal with Dobson through it all. Like
you're okay, just yeah.
We put a blanket over him at one point.
Yeah, how you deal with him? That sounds funny.
Yeah, we like hide him in a broom closet, but we like feed him like crackers every so often to make sure he's okay.
Are you working on that with somebody, or are you doing that all by yourself?
No, this is all by myself.
That's cool.
Dobson jokes are very funny. Apparently people like it when you make fun of Dobson, so I was like, I want to do another. I do like I did like the joke and so forth, because it's kind of like,
I like the reaction. She's like, does he just ask us to
I didn't like, it was supposed to be something different, I think, but yeah, I just didn't want to beat the shit out of Dobson. I was like, no, that goes against everything. We can't. I don't want to prove him right, kind of thing. It's like we're not really violent. We just sit here. We just draw comics. Like, you guys get really pissed off though.
Yeah, see, that's what I'll say as a viewer of comics and Comicsgate and stuff, and now I'm kind of dipping into it more, I guess, like trying to actually read comic books now. Like, I found it funny because for me, I was so naive. I'm like just the kind of guy that's like, oh, comic books, those things that, you know, people have that stopped being printed like 10 or 20 years ago is what I thought. And then it's like, no, they're still made today and not doing so well. And then I like watch EVS and he's describing it, and it's like just a field of, you know, oh, fuck this and all right, Nazis and people and this and SJWs and there's all this like just battling stuff. And I'm like, I had no idea comics was that intense with the industry or with the people in it or the Twitter ones. And just like, oh my gosh. And you can just go, hey, I don't really like that character or that movie because of blank, blank, and blank. And they go, racist, Nazi, sexist, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what? No, where'd you hear that? What the hell are you talking about? So, yeah, that's interesting. But no, it's I don't know.
No, it's like
it's just kind of funny because I assumed it would be like Sheldon or like The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
like it's like, you know, arguing over the like who can lift Thor's hammer type of stuff, and then it's the like SJW community things. The SJW Spider-Man. I actually glanced at his Twitter when Mike was doing the thing that had Scott Kurt, whatever, all that stuff. And, I was just browsing his Twitter for a second. He's just like obsessed with Comicsgate and all the things.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, dude, this dude has some major anything that happens. He's like, oh yes, yeah, more. It's just like, okay.
I don't know why. I don't even know if he like. It's got to be multiple people on that account. But I did catch him once. I did catch it. Like, we used to fight all the time, he and I. And then one time, and I have screenshotted this and archived this. He said men can't get raped.
Huh. Wow.
Can't.
Well,
like they can't do anything to our vaginas.
I was yelling about. We were having once again a fight because he was like, "You always say Dan slots into rape fetish," and I'm like, "Yes." And
wow.
Curly Cooper, and then she assaulted a man, and he goes, he can't get raped that way. It would be different if it was a woman, but it's a dude and he can't get raped. It's like, he got raped, and it's like, listen, if he got raped, he wouldn't be having a boner. It's like,
oh my god.
I was like, oh my god. We all went.
It is a natural reflex of men to have a boner. You can't control it.
I thought we talked more into that as well, he and I, but nope, it ended there, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
I'm glad you feel that way. That's really good that y'all actually approach that from a I don't know, I hate to say it, but a medical perspective. You know, if a girl gets wet when she's getting raped, does that mean it's not rape then? No, it's still rape. She didn't want it. He didn't want it. There you go.
Yep. It's all about the consent, right?
Yeah, dude. It's consent. It's not that hard. Shut up. It sucks so bad. But yeah. So he started. We got into a huge fight after I pulled that out. He started wielding it. He goes, well, technically she's talking about Spider-Man, and I'm like, how does that?
I don't know.
I don't know. See, what's funny too. So I'm also kind of new to Twitter drama stuff, where like I don't usually post that much. I usually just use it to communicate with people. But I posted one thing that was like, hey, Jeremy or EVS or somebody, if you guys, I think it'd be funny if one of them made a video about what isn't woke right now. Like, so okay, we can do, okay, those things. And then Odin's movie blog said something about Captain Marvel being woke, and then boom, like 20 like just came in like, you look at these all right Nazis trying to do something, trying to and I was at work when the feed was going, and a couple of my guys were just responding to them, and then by the end of it, they blocked all of us. It's just like I'd never seen that before, and it's like we weren't even anything, and you came in and what the.
Yeah, it's like it's a great way to get views. Oh my gosh, why do they like Brie Larson? Brie Larson, literally, I don't know how she went up plank for the role. Like,
I don't know. Like, I didn't.
Johnny were meant to play Nick Fury
and Carol Danvers in that movie, and I don't know why they didn't choose them. They need a break, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess since you brought it up, unless Riot Kitty or Gateway, if you guys have projects you want to show or tell about, we can get right into the Brie Larson thing.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I am working on a little project. It's called Dollhouse. Will be my comic book. And yeah, but like it's, comic book development, right? So me and my viewers are going to learn how to make a comic book together. That's what I like. And I think it's really cool. But what I am working on right now, let's see if I can get it. Let's see.
Are you on your phone or your computer, right, Kitty?
Oh, on my phone.
Okay, it might be. You might be able to turn your camera on to it, but if you don't want to show your face or anything, then cover up the camera or point it away or something. If you have your work out on your table, I don't know how your setup is with it. It's easier to share the stuff from the computer, but if you have it on your phone and you have it out with you, you could share it that way too. There we go.
Everyone see?
There we go. Here, I'll present your. I'll present your thing.
You posted that on Twitter too, right?
Yep, I did.
Very good.
So I am currently working on rewriting She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. I know there's a glare in my. Oh, nope. Dang it. Okay. Yeah. One moment. And you might hear my dog barking.
That's okay.
Let's see. There is my Adora. I was very proud that I finished her full body today between classes. And then here is the head of the catcher that I'm doing. And that is the main thing I'm working on right now. I'm still writing Dollhouse's script before I get to the art. And yeah, so I wonder if you guys like it. Please
I think that's cool.
know.
I think it's great.
That's awesome. And that is about it for me.
Well, that's good. I can't wait to see it when you're done. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing redesigns of all the main characters, and I hope it'll be to everyone's liking.
Yeah, Nerd Wonder. I don't know if you listened in at all at the beginning, but yeah, Riot Kitty. What she does, she is a newer YouTube channel, but she's doing real good with her drawing. She posts drawing videos and kind of tries to give little hints about storytelling and drawing and whatnot. Shows a lot of the process a little bit and does little awesome voices for her characters, which make it very entertaining and whatnot. And I feel like she's gonna be growing really big soon. She's at 150 subs right now. And she's going to be growing big time. She's got good talent.
I agree. I enjoy Riot Kitty a lot. Truly.
Hey Kitty, you have a YouTube channel? I'm going to subscribe right now. I'm
subscribing. Thank you. Yeah, I actually, you know what? I think I'll sub to you too. You seem really fun.
Links to all your guys' channels are in the description of the video. So if you scroll down on the thing, then you guys should have the links right there for you.
There you go. There's my Adora. And there's my catcher for anyone who missed it. Right? Now, either of you guys can take it up.
All right. Gateway, do you have any projects you're working on? Or I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm always working on projects. So I'm actually involved in 2 different scripts that I'm writing right now. Now they're far beyond actually pushing them. But I will tell you that, oh gosh, writing is my passion. I've done it for maybe 16 years, mostly short stories, and now I'm finally evolving into the full comic book script format, so I can push it along to an artist. And I'm excited to push that eventually. I'm not there yet, and so I am a representative of, well, Comicsgate in general, but more specifically, projects that I love, projects that I look at and I'm like, hey, this is incredible. and I for the very first time, just very recently, I came across a project that just blew me away. And so as far as I'm concerned, hey, subscribe to my channel. I am Gateway into Comics. But the most important part of this is just looking at this incredible project, and I cannot help but just show y'all some of these awesome images that are a part of this project. It's called Guinevere and the Divinity Factor, and I'm actually going to push. This is going to be my very first. So I do a lot of comic book reviews that are just simply about mainstream comic books. And some of the reviews, they end badly because I take a flamethrower and I destroy these books because a lot of them are really bad, specifically the Marvel modern X-Men comic books. They're just very, very bad.
It deserves to burn in a fire for all eternity.
That is absolutely right. Thank you so much for feeling that way as well, because I agree 100%.
Is the guy Pocket Jack Comics that makes that?
Yeah, this guy's, his name is Preston.
He's in the chat right now.
Yeah, he is in the chat. I just actually saw that. I think that's fantastic. And his book just impresses me to no end because this is professional quality stuff, and I don't see this. Now, once again, I just want to push forth this. This is the very first comic book, as far as indie comics go, that I've actually pushed and said, hey, this is more important than my channel because it's that good. I mean, this is just really...
It is really good.
Really good stuff. It does. And I got to tell you about, and it's not just the artwork that impresses me about this book. It's the writing. And that's the big thing about Preston that really pushed it into it for me, because I'm a writer and I can tell when writing sucks. This is some of the best writing that you can expect because this guy has been involved in actual Hollywood movies. So this guy has experience in screenwriting. And I just got to say it, you know, look it up. Guinevere and the Divinity Factor. This is my push for today and for tomorrow, and for probably this whole week. It's really fun stuff. It's really fun stuff for a lot of reasons. But
I'm going to post his link in the chat for his channel, at least.
Fantastic. Yeah,
you know, if he has I'm going to see if he has his link to his. Does he have a? Is that an Indiegogo right now that's going on, or what did you say that was?
Yeah, he has an Indiegogo, and he also has, and once again, he's not Comicsgate in itself, but I mean he's adjacent, and he is very, very he's like Peter Simeti, only he talks to us a lot, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, he has an Indiegogo. He has a YouTube channel. I didn't prepare those links, unfortunately, but
I just posted his YouTube channel link in the chat right now. So.
Oh man! Yes. Wow, you're on it. How cool!
How cool! Yeah. I hope my audience goes and checks out your thing, because that looks really good. I mean, and from a new comic guy, like I don't know how to judge all the artwork, but as far as visual representation goes, like if it can almost tell you what's happening just by visuals, and then story gives that extra depth of everything, and that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Good. Cool.
I'm gonna actually check that out myself later.
Hey, guys, it says that Gamotron said he couldn't see Riot stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I don't know, because when Gateway was just showing it, they said they could see it. Okay. I don't know, right, Kate? If you want to put your things back up again, we can show it one more time, see if they see it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you guys in the chat. Let me know if you can see Riot Kitty's screen when I put it up there in a sec.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. And here is Katra. Well, at least her head. Not done with her body yet. And here is Adora.
Dora looks pretty.
Yes, and so they're going to be 16 instead of 14. And since Adora isn't brainwashed in the Princesses of Power reboot, I thought, let's make her and Katra way more evil.
Okay, hang on.
They said can't see
it. It's still on you.
On my screen. I presented hers, though. What the heck? Didn't click on mine. Here, I'm going to...
Wait, is it because she's on a phone?
Oh, that could be if she's on her phone.
Maybe?
Yeah, it's not showing her. Yeah, it's not showing her at all.
Up on screen. Aw.
It's not even showing her at all on the screen.
Wait,
it's only showing our icons.
Go to her Twitter, and then we can show it there. Hang on, I will share link because I can do that.
Yeah, it is on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay, I can't share. Okay, I'm gonna share it in the Google Hangout.
Okay, if it's on Twitter, I can share it on my screen too.
All right, here I posted it in the group chat. Share it with the masses because they need to go see her pretty art.
I gotcha. All right. Okay, we can see my screen. I assume. All right, can people see the screen now? In the chat? Okay, looks like it's showing.
Yay! Okay.
Yes, I actually can. Right. Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, now we can see. So now you guys can see Right Kitty stuff. So Right Kitty, go ahead.
All right, this is Catra, uncolored right now. It's just the head, but I'm very proud because I've been trying so hard to make her hair work and look good. And then here's Adora with one eyeball colored. And there we go. I hope all you guys can see it now. There you go. And those are the two starting designs.
Yep. Flipping through them too, right on there. Yeah. Okay, good. So everybody sees. Okay, good.
Ooh.
That's good. It's like,
can everyone see it?
Yep. It looks so simple, but it looks good. Like simple, but with detail. I don't know how to say that.
Nice. Yeah, there will be a lot more detail. I am coloring it right now, but I have a habit of getting way too excited and wanting to show people as soon as I can.
I know the feeling. Princess Aruka, yeah, the Discord link in the description. I think that link expired, so I probably have to post a new one, but the Discord one is in the About page, so it's all good. I hardly use it, but for people that communicate that way, it's there. Yeah, that was good, right, Kitty? So I showed the crowd that. I took it off the Twitter and the screen and everything.
Okay. All right, I'm glad everyone got to see it at least.
That's good. Yeah, I want you to reach 200 subs by the end of the month and have a lot of people wanting to see your stuff.
That is a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea.
Oh, yes, and one last thing about the She-Ra reboot. So there is another outfit for both Catra and Adora. I decided let's have the Black Onyx be actually used for something other than a stupid plot device with Shadow Weaver. And let's have them have like evil magical girl transformations with the Black Onyx that they put on their foreheads. And that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be the first episode. They're going to do a bunch of evil stuff. They're going to be evil people.
Are you going to do it
fun? That sounds really fun.
Are you going to do it with the drawings that big or make it into panels, or what's your style for it?
Well, I think I'm going to, right now, I'm going to do like, you know, like how you see cartoon sketches of like characters, you know, like models and whatnot, you know, like concept sketches. Like that's what I'm going to do right now. And then I'm going to like, I'm going to like say what is going to be the story. I mean, heck, I might even do a webcomic if I actually get good at this digital drawing type thing.
Hey, you never know.
A lot of people tell me it's so different. My buddy's been doing, he's been doing like hand drawing his whole life. I can't relate. I mean, all I've been doing is just making words on pages, you know, with my own pen. And he says, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Trying to shift into digital, you know." And I'm like, man, all my quote unquote mentors. I mean, I know they're not necessarily mentors, but they kind of are. When I look at these guys that are making amazing art by themselves, independently, separate from this ridiculous whole Disney nightmare that is being pushed on us. And you know, all these guys, I kind of see them as mentors, even though I'm just a writer. I look at these artists that are just making amazing stuff, and I'm like, man, you guys have it going on. Yeah, it's a weird transition, is what my buddy tells me, from analog to digital, you know, from art.
Definitely.
Well, I gotta go and head on out. I hate to say it.
Yep, I was actually about to start closing up in a sec. Just been under 2 hours.
I saw your cat. I saw your cat for 1 second.
Yeah, my cat thinks it's lovey time. Here, so
there he is.
I actually had a bunch of other topics planned, but if you guys don't mind coming by another time,
yeah, sure.
I'd love it. Yeah, I love talking to you, man. You're a legit person, man, and I'm telling you, I support Geeks and Gamers 100%. I'm behind them. I'm behind you. I'm behind every single one of your subscribers because I know we see eye to eye. I'm behind Riot Kitty, Nerd Wonder, and Pope Fire. Every single person on this channel, y'all keep it up. This is fantastic. Keep up the good work. Just create and make great stuff. It's good. Y'all are doing awesome.
Thanks, man. No, you're good people. That's good. So if you guys are trying to hurry out of here too, Nerd Wonder, just for everyone, tell everybody again, just a quick thing, what's your channel about? And if you're releasing something soon, you can go ahead and plug it.
Okay, so come and go follow me on my YouTube channel if you like drawing reviews, meaning I just review while drawing video games and comic book kind of stuff, and more video games soon in the future. Or if you want to hear me just rant and speak in little tiny squeaky voices because I'm pretty good at that, or just follow me on Twitter for just fun optimism.
I love the voice thing. I wasn't gonna ask you to do it, but it is fun.
It's appreciated, to be honest.
Definitely. I'm actually working on my own project too, where I'm rewriting The Force Awakens, but I want Star Wars Force Awakens, but I also want to make it a community project where they can lend their voices to the characters, and I'll also make a visual representation, to kind of show it out, moving pictures, add sound effects and stuff, and people can voice characters. And I can imagine a funny alien with a little squeaky voice.
Yum.
And Gateway, if you want to plug yourself or plug projects again or your own stuff coming out really soon, go ahead, man.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm not going to be putting anything out soon. You can expect it at the end of the year. I have 2 artists that I am looking at to draw my book. And one of them is amazing. I have not approached either one of them, so I'm not going to actually push those people. But my book itself is it's an oddity, but it's for all ages, and it's about the notion of what is consciousness and what creates consciousness, in the sense that does God do that, or can we create a consciousness separate from that as far as artificial intelligence is concerned? And that's kind of the biggest thing that I'm focused on, because that's, man, I love that topic.
It's a cool topic.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to me. I'm a big member of actually a strange community. We call ourselves post-humanists, and we believe that in the future, we'll actually be able to kind of evolve ourselves with technology and medical technology, and we'll be able to live maybe even 1,000 years longer than we would have before. As far as life extension goes, I've even gone, and this is strange, but I've gone as far as I've obtained a cryonics contract. And so if I was to die today, a helicopter would come to my exact location. They would pick up my body and they would freeze it immediately in a kind of dry ice, and they would keep me in stasis until possibly they could revive me in the future, which is fascinating.
Like Mr. Freeze's wife.
Right. Thank you, Nerd Wonder.
Oh, say that all again. Say that all again.
Oh, she just left.
Oh, darn.
That's all good. That's all good.
Okay, I thought she was saying something about my weird sci-fi existence here.
I was going to say, that reminds me of Futurama, when they had Farnsworth and the ape that was like, oh, they proved the existence of God on Earth, and then he's like, oh fuck this, I'm going away, and then he creates these nanobots that evolve like within a couple days, and they become like a sentient being, and they don't believe him and stuff, and he's like, I created you.
That's one of my favorite shows. Yeah, you're right. That's fantastic. So yeah, man, that's me. I'm a weird dude. So that's my whole pitch. If I had to say anything as far as comics goes, I've read a lot of comics in the past 2 weeks, probably about 10 comics, maybe 12. The best comic out of all of those is Guinevere and the Divinity Factor. I don't know. I'm going to make a video on it tomorrow. Stay tuned. I hope you like it like I did. That's it. Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, I was just making a joke that it was like Mr. Freeze's wife.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's exactly how I feel about it too. Yeah. I love it. Thank you.
Right, if you want to, I know you just pretty much plugged yourself a few minutes ago, but if you want to do it again, you can go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll tell a little bit about my project this time, or at least my comic book project. So hello, everybody. I am Right Kitty. I upload art, design, and writing videos right now. I might actually transition into doing some animation analysis and whatnot of cartoons, because I really do love cartoons a lot. And let's see, the comic book I'm working on right now is named Dollhouse, and I can basically sum it up like this. It is Alice in Wonderland, but with a mystery. Ooh. And so it's a fantasy novel about a little girl who has dreams that feel way too real, and like the people who are in this dream world start coming over to the real world. She sees them in the real world, but nobody else does. And that's basically the basic plot synopsis right now. So she has to travel in her dream world to figure out what is going on. And
I like that a lot.
Sounds interesting, big time.
Yeah, so I've already introduced a couple characters. Let's see, my main character, Victoria. There's Jet, her big brother. Robin, who is basically the rabbit of the story, and then two others that are gods of the dream world. And my mom actually said this about one of their designs, that he looked like the most evil thing imaginable, which is what I wanted to do.
Which was the one that gave me energy for my skit?
Oh yes, that was Yatakara, and that was the one that scared my mom so much. And she actually jumped off and knocked over her orange juice.
Quick question. Will Rosie O'Donnell... Yes. Will Rosie O'Donnell be offended that you used her likeness in your book?
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Well, you said the most evil thing somebody could imagine, so I just imagined Rosie O'Donnell with a frown.
That's good.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't get that one. That's good. Well, Popefire, you came back just as we're just about to close out, but since you're here, you can plug yourself again though. So, and if you have any projects that you're trying to release anytime soon.
Oh yes, Popefire. What is Popefire doing? Popefire. I am helping to promote Eric Ninotowski, the most complicated name in Comicsgate. He has a book coming out tomorrow. If you cannot afford it, please go to Comics Titans fundraiser, because Eric has helped the community greatly. He's helped people. He's helped over 50 people get books in their hands that couldn't afford them. And I really would appreciate it if you guys could help back his book as well, because he's one of the nicest people in the community.
Who is this? Who is this? Say that again.
Eric Ninotowski, and I believe I said that right, so that's why I'm sounding all smug, because I usually say it wrong.
Eric Ninotowski.
Yeah, Divine Fire Studios, actually, on Twitter. I believe I have it as my pinned post on Twitter. I am very proud of myself, because I always say his name wrong every single time. So
that's all good. That's perfect. Yeah, I've got your guys' YouTube channels linked in the description of the chat, and Caitlin posted quite a few of your guys' Twitters and channels during the stream, so hopefully you guys got a few new follows for that. Yeah, I hope that we can do this again sometime soon. It's pretty fun. I actually had like 5 more topics to bring up, but it's already been like 2 hours, so we can pick this up some other time. Thank you everybody in the chat for joining us. Mega Jetty 1, Jordan, the Robin Outlaw, Princess Aruka, yeah, Pocket Jacks Comics, which has an awesome comic that Gateway was showing us today. Very awesome. Game Motron. Yeah, all you guys have a good one. I have another live stream that I'll be doing next Wednesday with Bandit Incorporated. He does a cool Star Wars series as well as other film videos that he does. So That's next Wednesday, same time. And